Alright, welcome back to another Descendant video. Um, Guys, I just want to say thank you so much for your support with the last couple of videos, especially my Eugen and Enzo build guides. You guys have been nothing but amazing. I mean, the amount of views for Eugen and Enzo, I think 21,000 views, and I couldn't have done it without you guys. Supporting, commenting, liking, subscribing. You guys have been amazing. Today I want to bring up this video and finally I've grinded, I would say, the majority of his mods. I didn't do the last one, his Transcendent mods, because I'm just not gonna get it because I hear it's not that good. But let's still go over it anyway. All right, so let's go over all of his mods, and I'm gonna share with you at the end, well, actually throughout, which is the best one. So Enzo has 4 mods. You have Focus Fire, Reinforce Frontline, Supply Firearm Enhancer, and Supply Tactical Armor. Now, this one I did not get. This spawns a reinforcement device with like an aura range, and you gain like firearm attack effect up anybody within that range. This replaces your shield. So honestly, this is the worst one out of all of them, because I do not want to replace my drone that gives me heals or more shield, because that's your sustainability throughout the match, right? Throughout the boss fight or throughout a hard mission or whatever you may be doing. All right, now let's go over the other ones. So I still have the same build from my last video. I finally prestiged them again. I put increased shield as my last one. I was also thinking I finally got MP Collector, so you could put MP Collector instead of the increased shield. I'm still messing around with this, but other than that, I have everything pretty much the same. This has been working out very nicely. You know, cooldown, duration, increased shield, defense, HP, duration, HP, and then cooldown. And the skill power modifiers helps your drone when you put on all 3 of your allies as well. So you got 4 drones also attacking everything at the same time. So let's go over his mods. Let's go over, let's see here, Focus Fire first. So Focus Fire, this is one of the first ones I debuted because it was the first one I got. I really like Focus Fire a lot. What this does is you are able to, oh, hold on, let me just redo this. You're able to have the drone out as long as possible, as long as you crit. So if I'm critting and you see the icon on my left screen, you'll see the cooldown is starting to go, and then if you crit, you're just gonna extend that duration as much as possible. You can literally have 100% uptime. So you can see it's 25% done, and I have my drone back. Anyway, alright? And Focus Fire, I'll highlight it here. So what it does is it scales a little bit less than the regular drone, but Focus Fire only applies to yourself. So it gives you ammo. You have your personal drone. You can extend the duration by critting, and it'll basically always be up. And on top of that, it gives 2 extra missiles for your missile attack. Your explosive drone gives you 2 extra missiles. The only thing is you can't spam it. So if I try to do this, gotta wait. And I don't know why it's like this, but I don't agree with it. But you just gotta wait for it. You gotta wait for the cooldown, and then you can just do it again. And while you have the drone out, when you throw the explosive drone, your supply drone will also throw a missile. All right. So that's Focus Fire. I would say Focus Fire is very good for solo play. If you're mobbing, if you're doing Kuiper shards or Cooper shards, however you pronounce it, gold farming, module farming, whatever farming you're doing solo, not bosses, just mobbing, missions, the same thing. Focus Fire, fantastic. I don't recommend this actually in team play, because you're the only one getting ammo and you're not really helping out your team in co-op play. So that's Focus Fire. The next one, Supply Tactical Armor. So what this does now it actually replaces your passive. If you look at your original passive, anybody around you, they're gonna gain a capacity increase on all of their weapons, right? Now, what this does is, whenever you buff your ally, aka when you put the drone on them, right? Your ultimate, this one, the perfect support drone with the supply ship, you're gonna gain. They're gonna also gain 15% damage reduction and 20% movement speed. And because we have the duration for almost 100%, they're gonna have this for 18.5 seconds. Honestly, I like it. It's come in clutch. I was testing out in some hard bosses like Pyromaniac, right, Devourer, all these other bosses. I like it. I actually like it a lot. But it's not the best one. I say this is situational, right? The damage reduction and the movement speed. It's situational. It only applies if you buff your allies with the drone, right? Now, my favorite one, which was a surprise to me, was the Supply Firearm Enhancer. And what this does is it replaces your ammo crate. So what the ammo crate does, and I covered this before, is that it gives ammo to your allies when they hover over the supply crate, right? But now what it does, hold on, with this, is now anybody who touches it, they're gonna get a weak point damage increase and a firearm critical hit rate increase. Now, this is what you should be using for bossing. Why? Because there's gonna be a Glay on your team. And if there's a Glay on your team, she's gonna have infinite ammo, and she's gonna maintain this buff indefinitely, right? As long as you guys don't reload. Now, let's look at the Tamer, because I think this buff is the best with the Tamer. If you look at the Tamer, my crit rate is at 14%, and the reason why it's at 14% is because of the mods I have. I put Better Insight mod, but let's just take it off for this test, right? So the Tamer now has 10% critical hit rate. It ain't gonna be creating that much, right? But if you put the buff on, right, 39% critical hit rate. Additive critical hit rate from this buff. And then if you put Skill Insight on, where is it? All the way down here. I know my alphabet. Jeez. Better Insight, there it is. Not Skill Insight, Better Insight. Now the critical hit rate is at 54.21%. Now, this buff stays indefinitely. As you can see, still have the buff on, and it hasn't went away yet. Now, look at all those crits. Amazing, right? Now, the buff goes away as soon as you reload. So, you can actually spam this because it has such a low cooldown. You could actually just put this down every time after you reload, and your whole clip will have this buff on until you reload. Now, you could pair the Tamer up with like Firing Fiesta. So what you could do is like, I'll show you. Like if you decide to reload, right? You could reload here, get the buff, and then just keep shooting, and then you have a couple extra more bullets in the chamber, you know? But, you know, it's not needed. You don't have to do that. I say just go for, use Better Insight, better concentration, right? For your build, for the Tamer. But as of right now, I believe this is the best one, at least for bossing. You want to run this. You can spawn it every 5 seconds, and for the Glaze, they're gonna love you for this, right? Because they'll proc their skills, infinite ammo. This works with the rocket launcher, the Tamer, any weapon anybody uses. It works beautifully. So I would say try and get this one first. And then I would say maybe get Focus Fire second. And the way to get the Firearm Enhancer is you just go here, and where I got it from was actually in the Vespers. I found it on hard mode in Vespers. I would recommend you guys do it in a 4-group Enzo. So like in the world chat, right over here on the bottom left, just type LFG Enzo Vault Vespers, right? Get 3 other Enzos with you, and as long as Enzo opens up the vault, you're gonna get the mod, hopefully, right? It took me God knows how long, over 100 times to get all of these mods for him. But yeah, guys, that's the video. I wanted to get this out here to you guys because I know I really was supporting Focus Fire, and it is good in solo play, but for bossing and in co-op bossing play, Supply Firearm Enhancer is probably it's definitely the best one in my opinion. All right, that's the video, guys. I'll catch you on the next one.